So, hey guys, thank you for participating. It was really cool. We had a lot of people submitting images. Maybe some people did not see the rules and the suggestions because we had lots of comments and attempts to rate the pictures today, and it was already closed.
Yes, I had the same problem. Yes, I was too late.
Yeah, but it was really cool, and we changed a little bit because we spoke last time, and I think you were not there, Ed.
Yes.
And everybody decided that it would be cool if we reset the challenge, and we gave a little bit of time between submitting the images and actually voting and rating the images.
Yes.
So that was the idea. We had until Saturday to submit images, and then Sunday and Monday to vote and rate and comment. And then yesterday, Daniel, who has just entered, but I think he still doesn't have the audio with him. Now he has audio. And Lino and me, we spent quite a while going through the top 10 images and trying to find a way to vote for the top images, the three winners. And that was quite a challenge, I must say. I must tell you guys, it was really nice. So many cool images. I really enjoyed it. And if you guys could, while we try to wait for the latecomers, what did you guys think of the challenge? It was a challenge to submit the images. Hey, Daniel.
Hey, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
If you guys have any comments on maybe it was difficult to submit images, or you liked this or didn't like that, if you could give us some input, so we can try to make it always as best as we can.
For me, it was difficult as I rated some images, and then at the next day, I didn't see my ratings anymore. Daniel.
Daniel, you have to tell me how you do that.
Okay. Yeah, so it was not so easy. So I was not sure if I submitted my ratings anyway. I'm not sure right now also. So
if you just click on the stars, you don't get any kind of feedback that you rated the images. But
yeah, exactly. But I was not sure if it was enough, you know, if I need to press some button or whatever.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you. Anybody else has any kind of comments, suggestions, ideas from what worked or didn't work?
When you scroll through the images, there is like the kind of a play sign in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And that bothered me somehow because it was always in the middle, this play sign. So I don't know, it's a little thing, but it wasn't too easy, I found, to scroll from one to the next. And as you said, like submitting the votings was not too straightforward, not so clear, I think, but it worked, and I think it worked.
Okay, the play sign in the middle is easy to remove.
Okay.
And this is the kind of request that I love. I know how to solve it, and it's very easy.
Okay, cool.
The other ones, making it a little bit better. The system is not perfect, but it was the only one I could find that worked, and that I didn't need to cash in to make it available. So I will anyways look for other options. We even have some ideas that we will discuss a little bit later on, and maybe it's easier at least in one of the pieces of the challenge. But in respect to you guys that are here on time, I think we should get started. And I will try to share with you the correct screen. Okay, so just another disclaimer, we are recording this, and it is live on my Facebook page, so if anybody has anything against that, please tell us now. And then I will share with you guys the, where's that? There's so many screens always. So let's go for the photo challenge. And you should soon see, if I can find it, a PowerPoint that you will start to see. Zoom and two monitors, they don't really go well together. Sometimes I cannot find the second screen. But now you guys should see
Yes, it's
a
okay.
PowerPoint presentation. So if it would go for the next slide. Okay. Last time we already discussed that we would have this criteria just so to make sure that we are all in the same page. We try to, these numbers are completely fake, but we try to judge the image, if we like the image or not, without considering too much on the technical aspects of it. Then we try to see the technical aspects, if it was properly lit or exposed, and composition ideas that we could find in the picture. And since we had a theme for the photo challenge, we would evaluate how much was it related to the theme that was changed. And with this in mind, we would get to some number totals, and we would see the three final images. And when I say we, I had to go and thank the guys that would not only help me with the evaluation, which was absolutely important, but also they gave up participating in the challenge and playing with all of us. One of them was Marcelino. I think you all know him already. This is his website and Instagram profile. And I really, really recommend you guys checking it out because he has some amazing, as he would say, reportage, street photography, and some very cool images from people. I love that in his Instagram profile. So if you guys still don't follow him or didn't check his Instagram profile, I can send the links afterwards. And Daniel, he also helped us with the voting. So it was the three of us. Everything that was good is their fault. The things that are bad are my fault. So if you have any complaints, you send them to me. If you want to say congratulations, you'll send to the two guys. Daniel is an amazing portrait photographer. He has some very cool ideas, conceptual photography. I can't even start to think about them, but if you guys check his website, he and his wife Anna, they have a very cool website, and his Instagram feed with his edits and very cool conceptual portraits. And these two guys helped me to try to get some sense out of the voting for the images. You guys probably have already seen my website, and I had to restart my Instagram profile. So if you want to send some love to those two profiles, they're brand new. And I would love to have you guys together there with me. And as we agreed on the rules, I don't know if everybody remembers it, so that's why I'm trying to mention the rules again. We had the public voting, so everybody could go there and rate for the images, and the top 10 rated images would come to the three of us to discuss and try to put those numbers to them. And the top 10 images as of yesterday, 8 p.m. were these images that should start popping in your screens now, with some suspense with them. And it was really, really tough to choose between so many cool images. But we had to try to find some reason and choose only 3 of those. And then, do you guys want to see who was the third place? I can't see anybody else anymore. I don't know if you guys are still there. 。 I don't see anybody because when I share the screen, I don't see anybody. I hope you guys are still there.
Ah, yes, yes.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, everybody's here.
Okay. So in third place, a little bit more suspense. And I would say that the third place is here in the chat room right now. And it was this cool image from Jan. Congratulations, Jan. We really
Thank you.
loved the image.
That's nice.
We saw so many nice things. And this idea with the grass in the foreground that looked like a palm tree and the colors and everything was really, really cool. Do you want to tell us something about the photo? I know you had already described how it was, but tell us something about this cool picture.
Yeah, you know, it was actually I was in Art Goldau and I photographed some animals in a wild park. And after the way home, I was in the train and I just looked in the direction outside of the window and I saw this this place. And so I decided, okay, Jan, you need to go there. And this is close to Zug. You need to go there next morning and try to catch a sunrise. And you know, from the window of the train, it was like a field, and then a small field, a small river left from here, and then this view. And the next morning I was there, and I realized that this field was not really a field. It was like more water field. So, and I realized as I walked to the lake that there became even more and more water all the time. So I even had it was something about -1 degree or -2 degrees, and I just thought, do you really want to stay here right now? But then I realized that it was a small place of
And it was exclusive to Zug, as you said. Is that correct?
yeah, I think there's a place called Rigiblick. So
Okay.
it's called view on the Rigi, and the mountain you can see here, it's the Rigi mountain.
Yeah, we really liked the water, how it is, the colors, everything was a really, really cool images. Thank you for submitting and congratulations for the third place.
Thank you.
And then on the second place, I would say, okay, let's go with less suspense because he's not here. So the second place was this photo. And it was quite something for us because it wasn't the most appealing photo from all of them, but it was really nice how it was related to the subject. And it was from Kurt, and he put it as a sign of what has changed. So it was really in the present moment. It has everything to do with now. And it shows the change that we are going through. So that's why it was so highly rated. And it's a cool image after all. So congratulations to Kurt. He's probably going to see this afterwards. That was a cool submission to the images. And then in the first place, the image that we really, really liked a lot was this image that shows the change, the modernity, the modern times with the cell phone and the light from the cell phone lighting this guy in Cuba and the old vehicle behind him and everything going on. It was a very cool image that has everything to do with change. And that's why France was the winner from this challenge this time. But it's a pity that he's not here to say something about the trip and how it was that he took his picture. We would love to hear a little bit more and understand a little bit more how it was. And it was really difficult to go along so many pictures. I think we had like 47 pictures overall. And I understand that the rating system wasn't really perfect, and some pictures ended up not being inside the top 10 because of how people would send links to the whole family to vote. We had some people from Colombia, and there's another place, it's in Africa, I don't know, that people sent it to the relatives. And we had like a ton of people voting from places I can never imagine why my link would go that way. So this is something that we have to think about. I still try to consider how we could do something to change that, and we have some ideas. The group decided or checked yesterday. We have some other ideas, but before we go that way, there are some very cool images that were among the final 10 that we would like to chat a little bit. And one of them, Ed, relates
Yes.
to you, because
Yes.
we saw this image, and I must confess to you, at first I thought it was not related to change. But then I read it again, because the image is appealing. It really comes to, okay, what the heck is going on with this hand and the packaging and everything? And
Yes.
it really appealed to me. But then finally I understood why you wrote there and explained that it would be the stuff about the criminal. So before I go any further, tell us something about the image. What did you have in mind, and how does it relate to our challenge? Because I really like this image also.
Yes. Okay. I was looking for something to send in, and then suddenly the sun was shining in our room, and I had the idea to photograph my hands with the house, and the idea was the change. Before we had this problem with the coronavirus, it was possible to go out without any problem, and take your photos out of the house. And afterward, now there's almost no possibility to get out. Of course, you can get a walk, but it's not the same as it used to be. And it's also sometimes a strange atmosphere. People are who are normally friendly are avoiding you. And not all the people, but a lot of people are very stressed in this time. So that was the idea behind the photo.
That's cool. I was really curious if that was the idea you had behind that, and we really liked the idea and what you've done. And I don't know, Elena, I just saw that you joined, because when I share the PowerPoint, I cannot see everything. Did you just join?
I've seen so I joined when you were sharing your screen.
Okay. So you've seen everything. Sorry.
Yes.
Because I thought you were not in the room. That's why I didn't ask you about the previous one. That's one photo from you with the dancer.
Yeah.
If you
So first of all, hi everyone. I didn't have
Hello.
the chance to introduce myself
Hello,
last time.
Okay.
So yes. What was your question?
Could you share a little bit of your thoughts about your image and why you submitted? Because it was a really cool image too.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Well, I took this photo due to the fact that I love shooting ballerinas, since they show this movement, and I love how they're free to express themselves, and through dancing, of course. So I connected this image to change, since I took it during October. Yeah, it was last October. So I loved how fall here in Switzerland is full of colors, and how it portrays change in general. And yeah, so I connected it with change, since since change is all about moving, and yeah. That's all.
That's
Really
beautiful.
cool image.
Thank you.
Her image is this one with the dancer on the top left.
Yeah.
And Nick, the reason I want to change the voting system is because Nick has some cool images there, and Stephanie, probably the one that she submitted was a little bit in the end of the time, so people had less time to vote. I saw some people trying to vote for that image when the voting was already closed. And Nick has some cool ones there that I wish they would be in the final 10, because I wanted to cheat and change the rate, so some of these images would be there, but that would not be correct. So it's something that we need to work on the next challenge. And this is something that Lino, Daniel, and I discussed quite some yesterday, and we have sent some ideas. If you guys want to have a next challenge, then this is something that we will need to discuss. As I promised, I would share some credits with the winners. You guys please contact me so we can discuss what you guys want to do. There's the option to convert that in a donation, but let's discuss what you guys want, and your decision will always be secret. Nobody has to know whatever you want to do with that. And just so you guys know, just a second, there's one guy coming now, and I think it would be cool to hear something from him as soon as he can come. While he finishes joining us, it's Franz. I would just like to tell you guys, we have an online survey. This link is in our meetup groups. It's on my blog. It's on the Facebook. I will post it also on Instagram, and I will try to share it with you guys so you can tell us what we can do, and if you guys want to have this weekly things going. Because for me, it's really nice if you have the chance to meet virtually and do something while we are in isolation, and maybe learn something together. This was my idea, but it doesn't help if it's just what I want to have here. I need you guys to enjoy it so we can do it together. So please share your thoughts with me. If you want to do something now online, or if you want to just go there and vote, it's really quick. It's 1 minute, it's 4 questions. You just tell me what is that you prefer, what do you want to have in our meetings, so we can try to make this as customized to our group as you guys would like. Hey friends.
Hello everyone, sorry for the delay.
Hey, no worries at all, man, no worries at all. I would do something that's a little curious, and I will go back some slides because I want to have your opinion on something.
Yeah.
But just try not to break the sharing. Yeah, it's about this next slide here. I would like to tell you, first of all, congratulations. This image was the image that we really liked a lot.
Awesome, thank you. That's great.
It shows us a lot of the idea behind the theme. But I would like to hear from you. What was the story behind this image, and how come it was submitted for this change challenge?
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, I was hoping it's not happening in the first minute. So, but yeah, I'm super happy. Thank you. So yeah, I was just there on a quite spontaneous vacation, let's say. Like I was for work in the States, and then had the chance to go there to Cuba, and I just really, it was the first time for me there, and I really loved those contrasts there, right? So they were, I know probably a lot of you have been already, but it's really weird to be in this country that reminds me also a little bit of my home country, which is Eastern Germany when I was a kid. So the feeling is kind of a bit the same. It's like really, people are very community focused, it seems somehow, and they're really nice. But then you have these like new trends like internet coming in. So actually for this photo, I have to admit I was posing the guy, so he was actually standing like 2 meters on the left in front of the few restaurants that are there on this space, on this place, on the square. And I just asked him to step to the right and like just do whatever he was doing, and then take this photo because I loved the colors that were coming from this restaurant on this car. And yeah, I think it turned out quite nice, like this contrast, and you see it everywhere. There are like people in the old cars, and then they're like talking on the cell phones, and it's really, yeah, it's really interesting. But it's also difficult for them because then I think a lot of them, yeah, they just don't have enough, money to actually take advantage and travel a lot.
Yeah, of course. It was really cool. Thank you for submitting, and congratulations. It was as it was so related to the theme change, it was very highly rated by our system. But not only that, it was really a cool image overall. So congratulations again. I don't know, Lino and Daniel, do you guys want to add something about the photos, the challenge?
Yeah, okay. I want to congratulate France because this was my preferred picture. So
Thank you.
I really like this picture. I've got one question, France. Did you crop the picture or is the original file?
I'd need to check. I don't remember actually. It's a few months ago.
Okay, just check it. I'm curious. You know, it's
okay. All right.
Yeah, and
Actually,
also no,
check.
I've seen yesterday. I mean, we have seen a lot of interesting pictures. So I think that is very is a very good level of picture. So from my side, I am a fan to continue this kind of activity because I think that in this moment where it's quite difficult to go around meeting people, talking about photography, I think that this is quite important for people who like, who love photography to stay in touch. So from my side, it's an interesting idea that has been came from Caesar, so I would like to continue in this way. It's quite interesting. You know. Head, you are increasing the team.
Yes, yes. I was increasing the team. So that's my wife.
We saw her. We saw her.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So from my side, I like the idea, and also, yeah. So let's go on this way because it's cool.
Yeah, it's not cropped, by the way. I just
it's
checked.
Not.
No.
Oh, okay, good. Thank you.
Do any of you guys want to add something? Daniel, do you have something that you would like to say about the voting, the challenge, the pictures?
Well, first of all, thank you to everybody who participated. I mean, it's always very difficult to select, but the top 10 has been selected by the voting from the whole group, so this was at least some help. And to this picture, I really think, so we were discussing about 1.5 hours yesterday evening about the pictures, so we did really an intense discussion. And here I really think it's hard to catch the light, so there's nothing burned out like the background, these large windows, and nevertheless you got the light from the screen from the iPhone or from the cell phone here.
Yeah.
So this is not easy, I can imagine, and as you just mentioned, so it's kind of you talk to the guy to stand there and do something. So it's really a cool image. What I personally would have liked is a little bit more of the surroundings, that it gets a little bit more context to the image. Because without text, you would not know this might be, you see only this old car, but you can imagine it's Cuba, but you don't know it. So if you get a bit more context with a wider angle or a landscape crop, then it would be something. But nevertheless, I think it's a great picture. Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah. I think that would really make it better. Yeah. So we could see some.
Just one suggestion also for. I mean, you know, this kind of picture is if you shoot it on a landscape format, that means on horizontal, you know, you are able to describe a little more what is around the subject. But that's why I asked you if it was a crop or not. You know.
No. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So again, thank you all for participating. It was really cool to have so many cool images to choose from. As Daniel said, we had a very long chat yesterday trying to come with the 3 favorites from the 3 of us together. And it was really a nice exercise, but it's really difficult to choose from so many nice pictures. So I would ask anyways, if you guys have suggestions with the form online, but do you want to share anything about what you would like to have in these meetings? What is nice, what didn't work for you guys? Anybody wants to share anything about that? Okay, so let's go. Sorry?
So I want to share something. I saw my photo had really low rating, and I didn't understand if maybe because I wanted that you don't understand what it is, and that's maybe why people didn't like the picture. I didn't see any comments, so I just saw low rating, and I wanted to understand why.
I will try to share that with everybody so everybody can see what is she talking about. Her photo is probably showing to you guys now, I hope. Do you guys see a picture there?
Yes.
Okay. So
Is the red one?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's the red one. The voting was made by the public, Stephanie. So I cannot really tell you why didn't they vote or rate it higher. What I think is that it came a little bit late, and it was probably not really easy to understand. So I'm guessing that would be the reason for the people to vote it not so frequently. But do you want to tell us something about the picture?
So I took this. So I said change your perspective to see than see. So I like macro photography. So I try to take off flowers, something that you don't expect to see, and this is the inside of a tulipan, and that's why you don't even understand that it's kind of a flower. And but I was thinking that maybe I have to compare, like give also the flower complete, and this work like two picture in once, so that people understand what it is, because if you see it like this you will not understand, which in my cases I thought it was a good idea, because I like the fact that a person doesn't understand what it is. But I don't know, it's just my opinion, and I wanted to check with others if what their feeling are, or
Yeah. So sorry, Cesar, can we see it a little bigger? Sorry, man, if I ask it. You know, I am going inside the camera.
Yeah, it's not going to be that easy to see.
Yes, I don't want that you ask Carrie, you know, it's like, oh.
If Stephanie had it there, okay, this is the largest I can, but it's really a bad increase that you cannot see very well, probably.
Now it's better.
So the reason it didn't come to our chat yesterday is because it wasn't among the top 10 voted by the public. And I cannot tell you why they wouldn't do it. But now that you explained to me, I understand it completely different. But when I first saw it, I didn't understand at all. And then when I saw the comments, it wasn't really clear to me. Why was it, what was that? Now that you explained, I understand it better, but it was really difficult to understand it at first.
Yes. So that's what I thought. But in my opinion, I wanted to have this, you know, I wanted that people don't understand what it is, but maybe I have exaggerated. Or I have to see, because if you don't understand what it is, it's missing the point of showing something.
Exactly.
Yeah, honestly, Stephanie, I mean, if I see a picture like that, you know, I'm really confused, you know. That's why, I mean, it was, perhaps the idea was good, but just with this shot, I'm not able to understand what is your picture.
Okay. Okay, thank you for the comments.
It's a
maybe I can add something. So some pictures actually work better when they're printed out, I found. So for example, here in the center, you don't see much detail. And sometimes when you print it out or when you see it larger on a screen than just on the internet, it has more of an impact. And maybe that also is one of the factors that it doesn't come that much across. So some pictures, I think, just work not that well for posting online, and others work better. I don't know.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
I mean, you know, photography should be always printed.
Yeah,
that's the rule.
It's kind of true. Yeah.
Yeah, we could try to send by mail all the pictures to everybody. That would would be cool.
Wow.
Cesar, you have to print all the picture each time, you know.
Okay, let's try to do something different.
Come on, you have got a lot of time. You can do that.
Yeah, that's not the issue of only of the time. Yeah, printing all of them big. Okay, let's try to do something different. But
Anyway, I mean, no, because I'm really looking this picture, you know, but it's it's quite confusing. Yeah, I would like to say one thing, sir, as we discussed yesterday on the picture by Elena, the dancers.
the dancer.
The dancer, yes.
I'll try to go back.
Sorry, Elena, but I would like to comment on the picture.
Yeah, sure. Any feedback is beneficial.
Try to go back to it so everybody can see that. I have no clue where it's gone. It should be here. In the top 10. Okay, I'll go back to the PowerPoint because there we have it quite big. So her picture is the one on the top left.
Yes. Is she a professional dancer or she is a friend of you or not?
So I actually found her online because I was rather new to Switzerland when I took this photo, and I generally tend to contact models online.
Okay.
So she's 17 years old, and I asked her if I could take this photo of her, and she asked her mom for permission. So yes, I just found her online because I was looking for ballerinas in Zurich.
Okay. Now I tell you the comment that I made yesterday about this picture. I hope
sure.
that you like the idea to hear it. I mean,
Of course. Yes, definitely.
We had a little discussion about the building. You can see on the top right of the picture that is disturbing a little.
Yeah.
Perhaps I mean, you know, if it was all full of plants, of tree, etc., was quite better. Huh?
There was also a bin there.
Yeah.
So there was also a bin behind her, and I had to remove that, and it wasn't such an easy procedure, you know, at Photoshop. And I also thought of covering the building with, you know, by putting more leaves, but I felt that it just, I may not have succeeded to do it well, so I didn't.
No, okay, but I mean, no, it's always better to avoid to correct in Photoshop. To me, this is my personal idea. No?
It depends. Like if there's a disturbing bin there that doesn't belong to the concept of the picture, then I would definitely erase that.
In that case, you have to change a little your position when you take the picture.
That's true. I also did that, but
and also,
yeah, but that was one of the best ones. So
yeah, no, but that's nice. I mean, I also like, you know, the pose of the dancer. I mean, I think, and also the bottom. You know, perhaps there is too much about bottom. That also is the framing of the picture. You know?
Yeah, this one in the.
This is not the. You see, actually more on the original.
Yeah, exactly.
This is cut.
Yeah, this one is a little bit cropped.
Yeah, I mean, when you see the small one,
has more bottom here.
But anyway, good idea, you know, good idea, and also the picture. I like the picture. That's why we said we decided. I mean, the honorable.
You guys can see the original
picture.
Yes,
here in the middle.
Maybe Ellen. One comment from my side. I actually like the idea, and I like the picture as well, because then to take pictures from dancers is pretty difficult because they're in movement all the time. So you took her a good moment when she had her legs at the right place and the arms. One point here is, as Lino already mentioned, I don't really like the building behind because it does disturb the you know, the nice way of this female body, and then you have these squares and this business building or this windows behind it. So this is really drawing my eye away from her. And the other thing is there is a kind of a motion unsharpness in there. So so you see it on the feet.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's actually either you have more motion to really show the motion, or you don't have any motion.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
kind of in the middle of it. So I know it's always very difficult. I completely understand. I think just to take the picture at the right moment, which you have really succeeded, is even a great, fantastic job you have done. And another thing beside that is actually maybe this yellow colors, or this red yellow colors in the background, and her dress. I think it does not give enough distinction between the dress, especially on the bottom of the dress.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just to sing things that comes across my mind. I assume you did not use a flash, right? This is.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. But nevertheless, I mean, you took it at the right moment, which is very difficult. And everything we just say right now is more like, yeah, that's what our
food for thought.
Our crosses our mind. It's difficult. Yeah.
No, it's interesting to listen to the way other people see it, because it's my photograph, so it's like my baby. I can't see it objectively, so thank you for sharing.
And I think if you look at the image on your Instagram, I just have it in front of me. I guess the distinction in the black part is better than here.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
there's more
I'm doing the
color.
same things, Daniel. Yes, I got it in front of me also.
Yeah.
The picture on Instagram looks to be much better.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And this was actually a very cool point that you touched, Elena. If you guys like, and I do love it, we could have some sessions like this. We can send a picture, each one of us sends a picture, and we just listen to what the others think of it.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it's a great way to learn not only what I think of it, but what I can show, what I can tell the others with my images. And I really love this. But you cannot really be hurt with what you hear. So it's not for everybody. If you guys like it, for me, this is a very cool idea.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Let me learn how I take this annotation from the screen. I don't know if you guys still see it, but there's a lame thing that I draw. Okay. Okay, so I have no clue if you guys are seeing the PowerPoint again.
Maybe, Cesar, I just want to say something about images. So for me, let's say, for me, more important than the quality of an image is the effort you spend to take it. Well, I'm talking about myself. So for me, if you consciously go and take a picture, and you're like it was Franz talking about walking in the sun by -1 degrees and coming back in the morning. Was it Franz?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is, for me, that counts a lot, So it's not just snapping a picture by the way. I mean, okay, street is something different, but even in street, you have to have an idea of the composing, and not just snapping away 2,000 pictures and then take the best. So when I look at images, then for me, the first question is always, how much effort did someone spend in taking the image? What were they thinking about it? And what is the reason for it? So, and this is for me the other one with the flower. It was, who was it? Stephanie, I guess? Yes. So well, it was not in the 10 because the top 10 has been rated by the group, but the image itself, now you explained that what you thought about it and why you took it and so on. And so this is actually makes a lot of value in an image for me. And I think this is the difference between people who just take out their iPhones and take pictures and photographers like us, that we really take out the camera and then just think and then click. So, but this is my personal opinion. Yeah, nobody needs to agree to that. But nevertheless, so the effort spent into an image, this is for me actually often more than the image itself. Yeah, I don't know if you guys know what I mean. So.
Yeah, of course.
I agree with you. I mean, photography mobile phone is something that is like me and the coiffeur. You know.
But you can spend a lot of time if you can spend a lot of effort with an iPhone as well. But
yeah, but is you know, I think that no, honestly, the picture to me should always be printed to be a picture. So you can take a picture with a Huawei, that is the mobile phone that is got the Leica lens. But if you try to print it more than 10-15, I mean, you don't see nothing. Usually when you do an exhibition, your picture cannot be 1 square, 1 centimeter. I mean, it should be something more. That's why I don't really like. I use the mobile phone always like a block note. I go around, I see something that I like, I see a person, I see a place, I take a picture with a mobile phone, and then I go back with my Caesar say, my Ferrari. But, but the picture should be something that is really done on a certain way. You know, this is my absolutely personal idea.
Sorry, yeah, I'm sorry, but it was Jan. It was your picture was done in the sun, right?
Sorry.
Yeah, I mixed up people. Yeah. And Franz, you did the one in Cuba, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, but yeah.
No, the picture by Jan, it's really the picture that we also discussed yesterday a little. I mean, it's a good picture, absolutely. It's a good framing. I like it. Who is the one who sent the other picture? The one not the Cuba, not the landscape. Who?
Für dich, you mean the second place?
Yeah.
That was Kurt.
Ah, Kurt. Okay.
Yeah.
But he's not here, right?
No, he's not. He's not.
Which one was the second? Was there like a second and a third place?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, the second.
You know, yesterday we discussed this picture. From my side, this is the picture that mostly meet the subject of the contest, because the idea of change came with this kind of present, you know. But under the technical viewpoint, this picture gave us the opportunity to discuss for more than 5 minutes.
Yeah, we just said, just imagine if you would have made this present a year ago to someone else, nobody would have understood if you present. But nowadays it's really you say thank you for that, because it's rather good now. So this is what make us as well. So yeah.
If you would only add some toilet paper, it would be perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So guys, I had something else that I wanted to ask you guys. I already spoke about the survey. I sent the link also in our chat here in the chat room. So if you guys have the chance to go there and tell us what you would like, because I would really love if we could go on and keep on having our meetings. If I understand correctly, you guys would also like this kind of photo discussion. It's not exactly a photo critique, but if all of us send some pictures, discuss them. And it's really 1 minute, we can have all the answers there. What I received so far from this online questionnaire, the top interests now are sharing some knowledge sources, and by that I mean YouTube channels that we like and we can get some good information, books, other online platforms that we have and we could share, so we could enjoy a little bit more maybe the time we have now. Online courses are also high on the list. I even added a question on what kind of online courses. And photo challenge was probably the highest rated option to do. Would you guys be willing to go again and do another photo challenge?
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah.
Yes, of course. Yes.
So sorry, Caesar, which was the question?
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
I didn't get the question. Which was the question?
if everybody would be up to do another photo challenge.
Ah, okay. Yeah, yeah, sure.
I think when we look back on the steps that we've taken.
Sorry.
That is something from space speaking to us.
Sorry, I wanted to share a website and the video started.
You want to share it? I think I had to allow it here somehow. I will stop my share and I will give you the...
No, it was just the link. It's in the chat. You can open it individually if you want. It's like this free photo classes that are starting, I think, next week. I just thought of it because you were talking about photo classes. Like lectures from this, it's like a photo agency, I think, for like documentary photography. V, maybe you know it, like V, I don't know how you pronounce it, 7 Photo or V Photo.
Okay.
Just if you're interested. Sorry to interrupt.
No, no worries, thank you. I think that's something that is so highly rated that we should really try to dedicate some time next week and try to see what we can share among us from these online sources. I do have a couple that I really like also, so that's really cool. And about the next meeting, the day that everybody said that was okay would be again Tuesday, so I would suggest that we meet again next Tuesday, same time, same place for now. I will send all the links and all the information about what we discussed and how we can meet again in the same channels. So meetup groups, all 4 meetup groups, Facebook, in the blog and everywhere. And so next week, this was from the survey, some knowledge sources that we could exchange as friends already started. Maybe we could already start the idea that was the next photo challenge then. And something that we discussed yesterday, we could try to do it a little bit different so we wouldn't be so much of a hostage of the public vote. So I'm trying to find some other platforms that we could use to have the ratings a little bit better. But anyways, we would have like 1 week to submit the photos and vote and do whatever we want. But then we have another week, and when we finally meet for the last photos, we would have the top 10 rated photos, for an example, and then only the people online would vote, and among these 10 photos, the top 3 voted photos would be the winners. So only from us, in the example from today, only our votes would count from the last 10 to the last for the winning photo. That would be the way probably to make it a little bit simple, and then Lino, Daniel, and I could also participate in the challenge, which I think is really cool. I would love to participate too. Anybody has comments, ideas, suggestions for the next one?
Next topic.
Yeah, the topic and all the details I will post tomorrow.
Okay.
Otherwise, you guys would have an advantage, 1 day advantage. So I will post everything in the next challenge. But for the next meeting, I would really like that if we could share some information, the places that we are using to learn or do whatever online. I think that is really nice. And if you guys could give me some answers in the survey, it would be really cool to see what you want to have in the meetups, in the meetings. I mean, that's everything I had planned for our chat. If anybody wants to add something, say something, complain is with me. Congratulations is with the other 2 guys, Daniel and Lino.
No, I think you made a good job, man. We cannot complain.
No, excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thanks
Thank
a
you,
lot.
guys.